Good morning, Bruce Phares here, Windermere Real Estate. It's the 5th of February. Let's take a look at the numbers. We are tracking on a daily basis those properties hitting the market from 145th in the north end of Seattle down to Othello in the south end and east to west, water to water. Let's take a look at the newly actives. Let's go ahead and get my little highlighter here. Newly actives, pending inspections, pendings, those that were pending or pending inspection within 6 days. This is an important number. Our totals, and then our relationships to each other. So let's head over here. Bright red indicates we have a surge taking place. So we've crested 100 at this point, and for the first time we've actually gotten above 120 for the year. But the total amount of new actives at any given moment are still fluctuating just under 320. This surge will probably push these numbers up shortly. Our pending inspections slightly rising, but they're still pretty much holding on their total numbers. Our pendings, however, got a little bit of rise in terms of their total numbers. The 6-day off markets, those that sell within 6 days of being on market, they are continuing to rise at this point. 145 puts them at a higher number than we've seen since last year. Totals of pendings and pendings inspection, they are definitely in the hot zone now at this point, 21, 105, and 393. That's pretty strong compared to the total amount of actives. So 393 total pendings and pending inspections versus 317 actives. And if we take a look then at the pendings and pendings inspections in relationship to the actives on a weekly basis, they're now at 86%. If we look at the total number, however, that was this right here, we're at 124%. This one is really the kicker. This is 6 days off market pendings and pending inspections. So looking at how many of those that go pending and pending inspection, how many of them did it in 6 days? 50% of them. That's a very high number. That's why we're white. So that's a white hot number. 43, of course, we're strong there, 6 day off market in relationship to newly active. So just above 40% of 317, that same number are going off market within 6 days. Sorry about the stumbling there. Here we go. Looking at Northwest Multiple Listing Market Watch, this is what they publish on a daily basis for us. And I check this once a week. 79 new listings versus 125 pendings. So you can see the discrepancy there. Not disparaging, but discrepancy. All right, so let's take a look at a different set of numbers today. Let me move this out of the way here. I want to do a comparison then of what has happened this year versus last year. So this year, in terms of January 4th to February 4th, we have 369 listings that came on in that time frame. Yellows are pendings, greens are actives, and reds are sold. So a lot of these are not closed yet because we're within a 30-day striking distance of those launch dates. But let's go back and take a look. Here's 2018. So in that same time frame, 4th of January to 4th of February 2018, we had 365 new listings come on. Let's take a look at the numbers on that. Of those 365, 17 were canceled and 14 expired. So let's just call that 30 for fun, 31. And what have we got here? Sale fail, so 32. But for those that then closed, their original list price here, scroll down, scroll. Original list price was $933. Last list price was $909, and final sales price was $965. 108.08% sale price to last list price ratio. Median for that $965 was actually $855. So sale price average at $965, but median $855. Let's go take a look at where the bulk of those lay. In terms of the solds, we can see our center core right here, and that's right in that grouping right there. And sure enough, those numbers help us out understand that median. All right, let's do the same thing. Let's go to 2019 now and check those numbers. Let me see if I can see a map here for us real quick. There we go. Here's our map. Let me take out that. There you go. There's our graphic. Gotta have a graphic. So for those numbers, and forgive me, what was that? That was 465. Remember, this was 365. So we got 100 more listings in 2019 than we had in 2018. All right, let's hop into that. We had, out of that 465, we had 47 cancellations as opposed to, what was that, 17 we saw, and 22 expireds versus 14 that we saw a minute ago. Let's go down and take a look at our sold final numbers. Total closings was 392. And let's see what it was down here, 333. Not too different, 60. All right, 392. Our final sale price was 902 at a 99.73 sale price list price ratio to that, and our median was 774. So you can see the result of the late 2018 market correction, where median from 855 comes down to 774, $75,000 roughly, and our average 965 comes down to 902, roughly in the same range, $63,000. So let's take a look at what's going on this year. Let's take a look here. I'm going to put you on hold while I pull up the numbers. So for the current 2020, and of course a lot of these will actually still be either active or in transaction, for the total number of 369, which is very similar to 2018's 365. We have currently active available 148 on market, average price of $1,197,000, median at $896. There have already been 7 cancellations, only 2 contingent. I'll take a look at that in a second and describe what that's all about, when expired. Let's go down and take a look at how many pendings. We've got 163 pendings versus what do we have? 148 active. So I'm looking at this in real time, so I don't have it memorized, obviously. And 22 are in pending inspection. Let's go back up and take a look at those pendings and look at what the average market time for those was. 7 days. So for that 160, pardon me, it's just stunning. For the 163 pendings, look at this column right, CDOM right here. CDOM, that's cumulative days on market. Just look at those numbers. 11, 2, 9, 2, 6, 8, 2, 3, 2, 15, 14, 4, 4, 1. I won't bore you, but you can see it as we scroll down. Just keep your eye on that column. And that gives us an average down here at 7 days on market. And that is the dominant currently in 163. Let's go take a look at what the actives that are still on market, their time frame is 27, and what we see affecting that is I keep my eyes on this CDOM, is we have a number of listings that are not, this is a judgment I'm going to give you here, but they're not responding to the market. They're not understanding the market will move on them and move towards them if they are properly priced, and those higher numbers then end up reflecting this 27 here. And our cancellations ended up at 84 days on market. So let's see, what am I going to leave you with on this? We have a handful of solds, I believe, that is sold out of that. They too have a 7-day on market average market time, even with this 77 days on market here, skewing it upwards. So we'd probably be a little bit lower. Let's see where the bulk of that lays. In the actives, kind of tough to figure it out. We've got a group here in the 600 to 800 range, and then we've got a little bit higher numbers here in the 950 to 1.25. Pending inspections, they're kind of all over the board. For our pendings, there's our bulk right there in the 600 to 800 range, understandably. Okay. Solds, there's not enough data there for us. So if I roll back over to my daily sheet here, and then I'll leave you with this. One of the things I also take a look at is this right here, contingent. So looking at how many, each week, how many offers have been written that had a contingent upon sale of house. They're just, almost non-existent. 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. There's 3 there. 1, and there's a 3. So that's a question that gets asked of me, of our team often, and that is, well, do I need to sell my house first? Do you think somebody will accept an offer and then I put my house in the market? And this is the answer right here. This is month after month, week after week. There's a 5, there's a 2, 4, 1, 3, 3, 1, 3. You get the picture, right? Back here, I was doing this on a weekly basis. I am now actually giving comments to these on a daily basis. Finally, if you would like, you are certainly welcome to look over the shoulder. If you go to tinyurl.com/BP Statistics Daily, you can view this chart at any given time that you want to. And I will also have a link here to the video blog that I do on a weekly basis so you can hear my overview of it. And then finally, over here, this grouping here, these are a series of graphs that are real-time graphs that we keep. How many are active on market currently using this similar filtering, 3 bedrooms within that area, active on market in the last 10 years. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got in terms of median sale price and see what those numbers look like. It'll take a second for this to load up, pulling data. Orange is Central Central Seattle, which is Capitol Hill, Montlake, Madison Park, Madrona, Leschi, etc. Black is Seattle overall. Again, that's 145th down to Othello for me. And purple is south of I-90 down to Othello. So because of the lower volume of listings typically in the Capitol Hill, Madison Park range, this is a little bit more volatile set of numbers. I think your green is probably your most intelligent number to be paying attention to. I call that the canary in the coal mine. That is that area from Ballard over to Ravenna. So let's take a look at the numbers here. I'll get my cursor out of the way. In January 2019, 725 rises to 785, 786. So there's your crest of market for 2019 right there for those properties. And then they settle back down. Let's see if I can get this out of the way here. There we go. Settles back down to 740, 755, and then a little bit of a dip towards the latter part of the year, 720, and pumps back up again to 750. So we started the year at 725 and into the year at 750 with a crest at 785 and the low spot at 720. Is that right? Yep, that's the lowest spot. Now let's go do the same thing and look at the last, for some perspective here. Let's look at the last 10 years at that same grouping. And I'm going to stay with the Ballard Ravenna set. And you can see here, this is a more, what's the word, digestible set of data here. I'm going to keep my mouse down here in the lower part as we go up here. This is the final, what I'll call the final crest that took in 17 that jumped from 678 to 789. Look at that in one. That is from December to June. That's a 6-month climb. 678 to 789. That's just almost incomprehensible. 780. Right? $110,000. Then we have a little bit of a correction, and then we did it one more time in the beginning of beginning of January in 2018 through June. So here we go. I'm going to call it 770 for fun to 850. Right? Another $80,000. And then we had a correction. And that went from there back down here to 755. And then we saw in the last graph that we started the year at 725 and we've ended up at 750. So this little set of numbers here, let's go back to when we last saw 750. That would be right there in April of 2017. So we're basically equal to that. And you can see how it similarly affected the rest of Seattle. The Capitol Hill numbers, and then the black is that Seattle overall, and even the south end had a similar set of numbers. I don't think the drop, let's see here, 740 to 665 versus 850 down to 755. Okay, I'll let you play with the math on that. I'm thinking about something else while I'm looking at this. Forgive me. All right, that's the real-time numbers as we provide every week. This is the 5th of February. Go ahead and let us know if we can be of help. And if you are one of our current clients, that gives you an idea of what's going on in the marketplace. If you're a seller, we're so far pushing into a seller's market. If you are a buyer with us right now, you are feeling these numbers right here, and we feel for you. This is not Not an ideal in that situation. So let's see where they fall out. We have another month before we, wait, there's one more thing. Forgive me. Hold on. Nope. Sorry. We already covered it. I'm not thinking clearly here. Okay. That's it for the day. Hope you guys are doing great. Talk to you soon. Bruce Phares. See you soon. Bye-bye.